Sometimes you need it fast. Sometimes you need it closer. But with CalBank, accessing your funds is always easy. With CalBank Agent Banking, you can easily open your CalBank Snap account, make cash deposits and withdrawals, transfer funds, pay bills, etc. right in your neighborhood at pharmacy, shop, filling station and supermarkets. So, visit your nearest CalBank agent today. Open your CalBank Snap account and enjoy banking on your terms using our CalBank Agent Banking. CalBank Agent Banking, your neighborhood bank. Forward together.
Dear Board of Directors, CEOs, and industry, yes, all of industry should get this. In today's
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all to the 2025 Annual General Meeting of your bank, CalBank. I now declare the meeting open, and I will invite a shareholder to lead us in the opening prayer.
Mr. Chairman, our Chrisville, indulgent before I pray, will observe a minute silence in honor of our colleague and an executive member of the Shareholders Association of Ghana who passed on to eternity, Mr. Robert Alote. So shall we please bow down head and observe a minute silence. May his gentle soul rest in perfect peace. Times and seasons are in your hands, O Lord. And today we're here for CalBank AGM. We pray, O Lord, that you take absolute control of this meeting to the glory and adoration of your holy name, and for CalBank to grow with greater heights. We ask that you grant the chairman and directors the spirit of wisdom, of knowledge and understanding, and above all, that of innovation that will bring this great bank to the desired height. As members and family of CalBank PLC, our eyes are on you, O Lord. For without you, we can do nothing. So we believe, Lord, that you will guide us and everything will be done successfully. We ask this in the special and wonderful name of Jesus Christ, our Lord, Master, and Savior. Amen. Amen.
I would like to express my gratitude to all of you for taking the time to participate in this meeting. For those participating virtually, I do hope that you have been able to connect to the live system in order that you can participate in these proceedings. From the information provided by the registrar, we have the requisite quorum to constitute this meeting. Before we start on the formal agenda for the meeting, let me introduce myself. I'm Joe Mensah, the board chairman. Most of the other directors are joining in online. And with me here is our company secretary, represented Veritas Advisors, represented by Mr. Jojo Aqua, and of course the managing director, Carl Asem, is also here, and his deputy, Johnson Owari, is here with me. We also have joining us representatives from the Ghana Stock Exchange, represented by Ms. Abinamwa. Joyce is standing in. And the Securities and Exchange Commission, represented by, are they here? Yes. Your name, please. Michael Seppa. Thank you. Welcome. The bank's registrar, Central Securities Depository, represented by Mr. Kwame Boampwensim, who is also the shareholder rights moderator for this meeting. And last but not the least, the bank's external auditor, Deloitte, represented by Ms. Abina Baini. You're all welcome. I will now call on the head of marketing of the bank, Mr. Kofi Siabi, to take us through the processes for submitting questions and voting at this meeting. Voting which will be by show of hands through the electronic system. Yes, Kofi.
Hello. Okay. Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Chairman. I would like to inform all shareholders that this live broadcast has a messaging platform to aid our usual question and answer session. You can participate in the meeting through a chat box, which you will find on the right or bottom side of your broadcast screen. To second the motion or to send a comment or question, kindly follow the steps below. 1. Type and submit your comments and questions. 2. If you wish to second the motion, which has been tabled by the chairman, simply type and submit the word second. Your questions will be received on the message console and sent to the chairman by the appointed shareholder rights moderator for this meeting. I will request that you state your questions in a clear and concise manner to save time. You may submit your written questions in advance. To save time, you may submit your written questions in advance. Depending on the volume of questions submitted and due to time constraints for conducting this meeting, it may not be possible to address all questions submitted to the chat box during the meeting. However, the registrar and the CalBank Investor Relations team have set up a joint desk to ensure that as many questions as possible will be addressed either during or after the meeting. Now to casting of votes. We'll be voting on 11 separate ordinary and special resolutions at this meeting. On pages 4, 5, and 6 of the shareholder pack for this annual general meeting, you will find explanatory notes on all the resolutions. You can access the shareholder pack on the website, calbankagm.com, or if you are here in person, you don't have one, you can raise your hand and we'll make one available to you. The show of hand voting will be done through the voting platform, that is the electronic platform. Voting on each resolution can be done using either of two options, that is, the online platform or the USSD shortcode. The two voting options will allow you to cast your vote on each resolution in real time. To participate in the voting exercise through the online platform, kindly locate the vote box at the bottom of your broadcast screen and follow these easy steps. 1. You'll be required to enter the 5-character unique token number used to join the meeting. Click Cast Your Vote. Once you have done this, you will see a list of resolutions to be voted for. Follow the voting by clicking the plus sign, then you can select your vote option. To participate in the voting exercise through the shortcode, kindly follow these easy steps. Dial *899*3# on your phone. I repeat, dial *899*3# on your phone. You will be required to enter the same 5-character unique token number used to join the meeting. Once you have done this, you can now select your vote option and send. Kindly note that there are two voting options to choose from, for or against. You can only vote for a particular resolution once the chairman declares, please start voting now for that resolution. Once the chairman declares the voting ends now, you can no longer vote for that particular resolution, as voting for the resolution will be closed. Thank you.
Thank you, Kofi. I will now call on the company secretary to read a notice of meeting, which can be found on page 2 of the shareholders pack.
Thank you, Chairman. Notice is hereby given that the hybrid annual general meeting of CalBank PLC will be held at 10 a.m. on Thursday, the 20th of March, 2025, at the CalBank head office at 23 Independence Avenue Ridge, and shall also be streamed live to all shareholders to transact the following business. The agenda is split into ordinary and special business. So the first ordinary business is to receive and consider the accounts of the bank and the reports of the directors and the external auditor thereon for the years ended December 31st, 2023 and December 31st, 2024, respectively. The second item on the agenda is to appoint new directors of the bank. The third is to approve the remuneration of the directors. Number 4 is to authorize the directors to fix the fees of the external auditor. And the final item under ordinary business will be to approve an increase in the stated capital of the company. Mr. Chairman, there are two items under special business, the first of which is to approve by special resolution the conversion of authorized and issued preference shares of the company to ordinary shares. And the final business is to approve by special resolution an increase in the authorized shares of the company. The notice is dated the 25th day of February, 2025. It's by order of the board and signed by Veritas Advisors Limited, the company secretary. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. I do not intend to read out in full my statement, which has been published on pages 16 to 18 of the annual report. I seek your permission to take it as read, but I intend to highlight some key areas in my presentation. Dear shareholders, it is my privilege on behalf of the board to welcome you all, our esteemed members, to the annual general meeting of CalBank for the 2024 financial year. We sincerely appreciate your presence, whether in person or virtually, as your active engagement reflects your commitment to the growth of the bank. I address you today during a period of remarkable transformation for CalBank. Following the significant changes of the past 2 years, the bank has achieved a notable turnaround through decisive actions by your board and management. I am pleased to inform you that many of the legal challenges raised during our last AGM, which affected all but one resolution, have been resolved largely with the support of some shareholders. Over the past year, we undertook comprehensive organizational realignment and restructuring of operations to position the bank for sustainable growth and profitability. The economic environment in 2024 presented a mix of opportunities and challenges. Ghana's economy displayed resilience, supported by the implementation of the final phases of the domestic debt exchange program and the ongoing IMF program. While high borrowing costs and fiscal constraints continued to impact businesses and households, the economy is on a promising recovery path. In the financial services sector, we observed a steady improvement in liquidity levels, driven by policies aimed at stimulating credit growth and enhancing risk management practices. CalBank swiftly adapted to these changes, leveraging robust strategies to navigate uncertainties and capitalize on emerging opportunities. The group delivered a strong financial performance in 2024, showcasing the success of its strategic turnaround efforts. The group achieved a profit after tax, PAT, of 311.3 million Ghana cedis, reflecting a significant improvement in our bottom line compared to the prior year. This growth underscores the effectiveness of its operational and financial strategies. Additionally, CalBank Group saw a substantial 26.5% rise in customer deposits, which grew from 7.5 billion Ghana cedis to 9.7 billion Ghana cedis, demonstrating enhanced customer trust and an expanded market footprint. While operating income for the year remained relatively muted, the group maintained disciplined cost management, keeping operating costs well contained. Furthermore, CalBank Group expanded its agent banking network to over 2,200 outlets from 800 outlets in 2023, reinforcing its commitment to financial inclusion and customer accessibility. These achievements collectively highlight the group's resilience, strategic focus, and ability to deliver sustained growth in a competitive and evolving landscape. CalBank delivered strong financial results in 2024, underscoring the success of our turnaround efforts. Key performance highlights include profit after tax for the year 2024 stood at 311.3 million Ghana cedis, as I mentioned earlier. The prior year loss was 671.1 million. So effectively, from a loss of 671 million, we turned into a profit positive of 311.3 million. Customer deposits grew by 26.5% from 7.5 billion Ghana cedis to 9.7 7 billion Ghana cedis. Operating costs remained well contained, while operating income for the year was relatively muted. Our agent banking network, as I mentioned earlier, expanded to over 2,200 outlets from 800 outlets in 2023. The group's total assets increased by 18.2% from 9.9 billion in 2023 to 11.7 billion in 2024. These achievements reflect disciplined cost management, strategic investments, and a relentless focus on customer service. Investor confidence in CalBank strengthened during the year, with our share price appreciating to 34p pesos by year-end from a low of 26 pesos. This growth reflects the market's confidence in our recovery and strategic direction. We anticipate this positive trend to continue, and I'm sure those of you who have been following the stock exchange know that it's far more than this, and it's still growing. Our capitalization strategy remains a priority. The bank is on track to meet and exceed the regulatory minimum capital requirements by the end of the year 2025. This demonstrates our commitment to maintaining a strong capital position to support future growth. Although the bank achieved significant profitability in 2024, regulatory directives prevent dividend payments until capitalization requirements are met. While this decision delays shareholder rewards, it ensures the sustainability of our growth strategy. Accordingly, your board will reinvest profits to strengthen the bank's capital base. Your board continues to uphold the highest standards of corporate governance. During the year, we further enhanced our governance frameworks to align with regulatory standards and global best practices. Key initiatives included strengthening the bank's risk and control frameworks and reinforcing ethical leadership and transparency across all operations. We expect Ghana's economy to continue on its recovery path in 2025, with real GDP growth projected through the recent budget at 4%, driven mainly by the services sector. Inflationary pressures are anticipated to stabilize in 2025, creating room for the Bank of Ghana to gradually ease monetary policy. Externally, we forecast a positive balance of payments supported by increased crude oil exports, higher foreign direct investment, and growing gold reserves. Although debt repayment pressures may create short-term challenges, careful management will ensure financial stability. Against this backdrop, CalBank is well positioned for sustained growth and profitability. During the year, 4 independent non-executive directors retired, and the board at this meeting will be proposing a number of non-executive director nominees, all of whom have been duly approved by the Bank of Ghana for your consideration and appointment as directors of the bank. To strengthen the management team, key changes were made, including the appointment of Mr. Johnson Owari as Deputy Managing Director, effective January 2025. I should also mention that the tenure of the current board comes to an end at the close of this annual general meeting. It has been a challenging but fulfilling experience for me and my colleagues to lead a bank during our tenure, and particularly through the turbulence that has buffeted the economy and the industry as a whole. And I am proud to say that we leave the bank with a strong foundation to build on going forward in the best interest of all stakeholders. Dear shareholders, as we close the books on the transformative year, I would like to express my profound gratitude for your unwavering support. I also extend heartfelt thanks to our customers, employees, stakeholders for their invaluable contributions to CalBank's success. We couldn't have done it all alone. Together, we have laid the building blocks for a brighter future for our bank. Let us remain united as we drive CalBank towards sustained growth, innovation, and value creation for all stakeholders. Thank you. Now to the ordinary business. To ensure the conduct of the business of the day, I will move each motion and invite seconders for each motion from the floor and online. The seconders are kindly requested to state their names to enable the company secretary to take proper note of the names, as voting will be done both in person and by shareholders present and electronically by shareholders participating online. A few minutes will be allowed for each vote to enable participating shareholders to vote and also to allow for the tallying of all votes cast. I will announce the opening and closing of the online voting period for each resolution. We now move to the formal business of this meeting. Each of you would have accessed the copies of the 2023 and 2024 accounts of the bank and the report of the directors published on the bank's website and in the Daily Graphic and the Ghanaian Times newspapers on February 26, 2025, or through the virtual AGM link shared with you by email or SMS. With your permission, I would like to take them as read. The independent auditor's report is found on pages 60 and 64 of the annual report, which has been shared on the bank's website or via the virtual AGM link shared with you by email or SMS. I now call on the representative of Deloitte, the bank's external auditor, to read the auditor's report. Before you do that, I believe that we are presenting both the 2023 and the 2024 accounts. Is that it?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. That is correct. I will read the 2024 audit opinion and take the 2023 as read.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning once again. Good morning, esteemed shareholders, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Chairman, with your kind permission, I will take the report as read and I will highlight on certain key aspects of the audit opinion. The independent auditor's report to the shareholders of CalBank PLC. Report on the audit of the consolidated and separate financial statements. The opinion. We have audited the consolidated and separate financial statements of CalBank PLC and its subsidiaries, the bank and the group, set out on pages 65 through to 163, which comprise the consolidated and separate statements of financial position as at the 31st of December 2024, the consolidated and separate statements of profit or loss, and the comprehensive income, consolidated and separate statements of changes in equity, and consolidated and separate statements of cash flow for the year then ended. The notes to the consolidated and separate financial statements, including a summary of material accounting policy information and other explanatory disclosures. In our opinion, The consolidated and separate financial statements give a true and fair view of the consolidated and separate financial position of CalBank PLC as at the 31st December 2024, and its consolidated and separate financial performance and consolidated and separate cash flows for the year then ended. In accordance with IFRS accounting standards as issued by the International Accounting Standards Board and with the IAS 29 directive issued by the Institute of Chartered Accountants, Ghana. The requirements of the Companies Act 2019, Act 992, and the Banks and Specialized Deposit Taking Institutions Act 2016, Act 930. Material uncertainty related to going concern. I'm still reading from page 60. We draw your attention to note number 42 to the financial statements, which indicates that the bank and the group reported a net profit of 256.3 million Ghana cedi and 267.7 million Ghana cedi respectively in the year 2024. The comparatives for 2023 reflected a loss of 681 million Ghana cedi and 671 million Ghana cedi respectively. The bank and the group also had a positive net assets position at the end of 2024, reflecting 217 million Ghana cedi and 273 million Ghana cedi, respectively. The comparatives for the year 2023 were in the negative, reflecting 185 million Ghana cedi for the bank and 141 million Ghana cedi for the group. The bank also has an impaired capital of negative 504 million Ghana cedi as at the close of 2024. The comparative for 2023 was a negative position of 582 million Ghana cedi. The capital adequacy ratio as at the 31st December 2024 reflected a negative position of 7.22%. The comparative for the year 2023 was a negative position of 9.9%, as against the required minimum capital level of 10%, as indicated in note 7.6 to the financial statements. Furthermore, as stated in note number 42 of the financial statements, these events or conditions, along with other matters set forth in note number 42, indicate that there is a material uncertainty that exists that may cast doubt on the bank's and the group's ability to continue as a going concern. The details are all outlined in note number 42. Mr. Chairman, shareholders, our opinion is not modified in respect to this matter. I will take you to page number 63, where I will continue with the report on other legal and regulatory requirements. In accordance with the 7th schedule of the Companies Act 2019, Act 992, we expressly state that 1, we have obtained the information and explanations which, to the best of our knowledge and belief, were necessary for the purpose of our audit. 2, in our opinion, proper books of accounts have been kept by the group so far as appears from our examination of those books. The information and explanations given to us were in a manner required by the Companies Act 2019, Act 992, and give a true and fair view of the following. A, the statement of financial position of the group at the end of the financial year. B, the statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income for the financial year. The group accounts have been properly prepared in accordance with the Companies Act 2019, Act 992, to give a true and fair view of the state of affairs and the profit or loss of the bank and its subsidiaries. 3, the group's statement of financial position and statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income are in agreement with the accounting records and returns. 4, the group account has been properly prepared in accordance with the Companies Act 2019, Act 992, to give a true and fair view of the state of affairs and the profit or loss of the bank and its subsidiaries. 5, we are independent of the group pursuant to Section 143 of the Companies Act 2019, Act 992. The Banks and Specialized Deposit-Taking Institution Act 2016, Act 930, requires that we state certain matters in our report, and we hereby state them as follows. 1, we confirm that the accounts give a true and fair view of the state of affairs of the bank and the results of the operations for the year under review. 2, we were able to obtain all the information and explanations required for the efficient performance of our duties as auditors. 3, we confirm that the transactions of the group were within its powers. 4, in our opinion, the bank has generally complied with the provisions of the Anti-Money Laundering Act 2020, Act 1044, as amended by the Anti-Money Laundering Amendment Act 2014, Act 874, and the Anti-Terrorism Act 2008, Act 762, and the regulations made under these enactments. 5, except as disclosed in Note number 35, Note 7.6, and Note 7.7 to the financial statements, the bank has generally complied with the provisions of the Banks and Specialized Deposit-Taking Institutions Act 2016, Act 930. 6, finally, the bank has generally complied with the requirements of the Bank of Ghana's Corporate Governance Disclosure Directive of 2022. The engagement partner on the audit resulting in this independent auditor's report is Abna Baini, my good self. My practicing license is ICAG/P/1508. It's signed for and on behalf of Deloitte & Touche. Our firm's practicing license is ICAG/F/2025/129. Chartered Accountants, the Deloitte Place, plot number 71 off the George Walker Bush Highway, North Jolu, in Accra, Ghana. Signed and dated the 19th day of February 2025. Mr. Chairman, here ends our report. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Abina. As I previously mentioned, due to some legal challenges encountered at the time of last year's AGM, it was not possible to table a number of agenda items, including the consideration of the 2023 accounts. Accordingly, we will now consider the accounts for both 2023 and 2024. I now lay before you the audited accounts for 2023 and the 2024 one sent to all shareholders as required by Section 128 of the Companies Act 2019. We will now take questions and comments on the accounts or the reports as laid. Please remember to provide your names, and for shareholders participating online, please make use of the chat box section at the bottom or the right-hand side of the broadcast screen. So questions on the accounts, please. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for this opportunity. My name is Samson Ashong, the General Secretary of the Shareholders Association of Ghana, and a shareholder of this august company, CalBank PLC. Mr. Chairman, let me start by congratulating the board and management for the impressive result. 267 profit that has been made when it goes to the group. That is highly impressive. And we are happy. But like Oliver Twist, we still need more because the retained earning is still in the negative. And we need to fire on all cylinders and make sure that that comes to a positive so shareholders can receive dividend. Mr. Chairman, let me take all of us to page 164 of the brochure. Note 44. The value added statement for the year ended 31st December. You could see that all that has been made, the monies that have been made, the distribution is here. The non-executive directors have their portion. The executive directors will have theirs. The employees have theirs. The government, in terms of income tax, will have theirs. The auditors too will have theirs. Anyway, it's not here, but I've mentioned it. But the providers of capital, that is you and I. Dividend to shareholders. Dash, 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 dash. So, Mr. Chairman, I am still appealing to the board and management that they should do more. In fact, let me even add to it that it is at this stage that we need the board and management to think of bringing in new products that will whet the appetite of customers so they can bring in more cash to improve the bottom line. So let us look at it. In the next few months, we'll be looking out for new products from you that would increase the bottom line. I also believe, Mr. Chairman, digitalization, yes, is the way to go. But let us be careful that our platforms are very safe in order to offset potential cyber crime. And especially, we need to train customers on the usage of these various products that are there so that the platforms will be very, very, very safe. Because if the customer makes a mistake and there is a problem, that might even lead to them leaving the bank, and that will also affect the bottom line. So let us find time and really train the customers on the usage of the platform. Mr. Chairman, I also want to ask whether CalBank has been taking part in the Ghana Stock Exchange Facts Behind the Figures program. If yes, when was the last time? If no, when are they going to have it? I have also gone through the document. The evaluation of our directors have been done very well internally. But what is also needed for effective and efficient management, we also need an external evaluation. The external one could come from any of the past auditors who do also work on the external, so we can be made assured. We can have that double assurance that the directors are really doing the work for it. The internal one, perfect, but we still need an external one, a second opinion, to show that what is being done is the right thing. Mr. Chairman, let me also at this stage find out when will be the convenient period in terms of years that it is likely and convenient for shareholders to receive dividends. Let me congratulate you on receiving the EDGE certificate. That shows that your sustainability strategy is on track. The environment, the EDGE certificate, that is excellent. We have this excellence in design and for greater efficiency. That is good. Congratulations and keep it up. I think that in the final analysis, that will also work to improve the bottom line because we would have been saving money from that aspect. Congratulations once more. Finally, on recoveries. You have done a lot, but you still need to do more, because the bottom line must be improved considerably for us to be able to lead that positive retained earning. Mr. Chairman, for now, I am done. I will come back again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Sean. Yes, your comments are well noted, and we would take them on board and as much as possible address them. Definitely, yes, you are entitled to liver twist. Why not? And thank you for reminding us to train our customers on the usage of the digitalization platforms, so that, you know, it will improve confidence in our systems and so on, because one strike and you are out. You know, something goes wrong and it spreads like wildfire in the marketplace, and, you know, it would come back to hurt us. On the dividends, yes, as you are aware, it's the capital situation which has made the regulator to prevent us from, you know, dishing out monies when, you know, we don't have the requisite capital. So I would say that let us help us to get the firepower we need through the increased capital. And then, you know, once we've got the firepower, then we could you know, churn out more, you know, and ensure that we are firing on all cylinders, and that we can produce better results, much improved results. On the stock exchange, fast behind the figures, Carl, I know that we've been doing it, but I don't know if we have stopped. So would you pick that question, please?
Yeah. Mr. Sean, the last time that we had it was in October 2024. Yes, we had it fast behind the figures. And we intend also to have one in the second and the third quarter this year as well. Thank you. Yes, we will.
Okay, hi. Hello. Okay, all right. Good morning. I'm Kwabena Obeng. I'm with IC Securities. I'm here representing a number of. Hello. Okay. All right. Sorry. Again, good morning. I'm Kwabena Obeng. I'm with IC Securities. I'm here representing a number of our clients. I have a couple of questions regarding the account. So the first one goes to capital, the capital adequacy ratio of the bank. We see that the bank has sort of submitted a proposal to the regulator to get some of a pension consortium to take up the rights that were renounced. We are asking what the progress is on that, specifically the timelines, considering that 2025 is a significant year for this capitalization issue. Is the bank open to engaging the regulator for an extension should that become necessary, that the capital raising efforts don't pan out the way we expect it to? My second question goes to NPLs. We see that the current NPL is almost more than double that of the industry average. The question I have is, are there any loans on the bank's books that could potentially worsen that ratio for us? And what are the measures around containing that ratio from growing as we look to stabilize the bank? And my last question goes to profitability. We see that the bank 2024 was profitable, but a significant portion of that came from impairment gains. The question here is, should we expect that to continue? Is that something that we can expect to see in 2025? And then as it relates to the top line itself, we didn't see a very, in fact, we saw a decline in net interest income. What is the strategy around growing the top line genuinely so that we can expect profitability to continue in the future? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Regarding the profitability, the interest income, from taking your questions from the bottom up, that was to be expected because there were some restrictions on lending and so on placed on us as a result of our low capital adequacy by the regulator. And that is what, so throughout the year, we were more or less driving with the handbrake on. So it was very difficult for us to achieve the required results. On the NPLs, I think that I would say that we have as much as possible provided for all the identified, impaired facilities. So I do not expect any huge impairments going forward. From the DDP to the others have all been taken care of. Yes, so we focus on recoveries, as you rightly pointed out, because if your hands are tied to your back, you have to survive, and that's how we did it. Carl, do you want to come in here?
Whilst we focus on recoveries, we also find other ways to also generate income. So when we look back into the financials, you see that year on year, our fees and commission grew by 98%. So we are also focusing on annuity income to see how it grows, and we expect to do more of that in 2025. Asking for the capital restoration plan and trying to get an assurance that we estimate that based on the plans that we have on the table, by the end of the year, we should be able to exceed the threshold of 13% capital adequacy. And these are part of the resolutions that we will be tabling for approval during this current AGM to help us achieve that purpose.
Yes, Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. My name is Samuel Dadi. I'm a shareholder of this noble company. I'm also an executive member of the Association of Shareholders on the Stock Market. I can see my picture that I'm growing. I thank you very much for this report. There's the main annual report and then a pack. But in the pack, we're expecting notice of the AGM with all the various agenda items. It is not there. It has disabled some of us. So next time, it has to be looked at it critically. I have gone through the report, and I must say I'm quite impressed about 2024 fiscal year coming from DDEP and its associated challenges. Let me take this opportunity to highlight some positives, which you have done it. But it also shows that we have also seen it, and it's therefore appropriate for us to give such commendations. Number one, you are the first to publish your financials in the various newspapers. Congratulations. The second one is that you are the first to hold AGM, especially companies on the stock market. You are the first to hold AGM today. Others have not even published theirs. Others have even gone to the regulator for extension of time. But CalBank has gone ahead to do everything to hold AGM today. Thank you very much. Tight cost control. Tight cost control. It is evident that there was a deliberate attempt to control costs, and that is reflecting in the report. There was a decrease of 7.45% during the year on the reference. Profit after tax. If you look at the 5-year historical summary, Profit after tax of 2024 is the highest maybe in the history of this particular company. Congratulations on that score. We expect this amount to go forward next year and beyond. Total assets of this bank, for the first time in the history of this bank, it has crossed 10 billion CD mark. In other words, it is around even 1.1 billion, and it is a very laudable milestone. Again, shareholders' funds for the first time in some few years is now positive. Total shareholders' funds positive from a negative, which is also a good omen. However, our stake in it as shareholders is very, very, very negligible. But it is good. The entire shareholders' funds is positive. The component of it is retained earnings. Retained earnings. That hasn't changed much. And that is a cause for concern. That is the retained earnings. But overall, it is positive. Having said that, there are a few comments which I would like to make. Not much anyway. The first one is regulatory credit risk reserve. For the first time in the history of this company, this account has been created in the equity portion of the financial statement. The profit made during the year, almost all has been transferred to that particular account, with the normal amount being transferred to statutory reserve. This regulatory credit risk reserve, having been brought into the equity component of it, also means that you have to take a critical look at your loan books. Maybe things are not going on there. The regulator is saying, no, IFRS, take this one for your accounts. But me as a regulator, I'll not accept that. So I'll set off part of your profit into that particular account. I'll urge the board to take a second look at it and then make amends. Let me congratulate the board and management for increasing your deposits. I don't know what really happened, but you have been able to raise your deposit very, very well, for which I'm so happy about. Cost to income ratio. We know of this bank as having a very low cost to income ratio. Today, it's over 70%. Of course, the chairman has spoken about certain restrictions from the regulator. It is our hope that cost to income ratio will come down soonest. $20 largest exposure. In other words, the loans and advances. 20 largest seems to be very, very, very high, which also shows that the risk there is also very, very high. The larger you have it, the larger the customers are, the better. But if they are concentrated on few, the risk there is very high. The last one is about the going concern concept, the going concern assumption. I've read the report of the directors, and I've also read auditors' highlight. I'm sure in the boardroom there was a lot of back and forth there, because there is no unison in the presentation of the going concern assumption. Moving forward, settings must be looked at. After Jojo at the boardroom, you come to a compromise to make a definite statement on it. For us shareholders, we are all the time standing by the auditors. That is the fact of the matter. So it has to be considered going forward. On that note, let me specifically say that I'm so much happy about the report of 2024 fiscal year. But we are not out of the woods yet. Right now, interest rate, just last month, 30% and above. I'm referring to the money market instrument, 30% and above. As you are speaking right now, it's around 15%, meaning that if your hope is that you are going to get a lot of funds from interest income from debt, it's not going to do much there. I also saw in the report that the board wanted to run away from their core mandate. But no matter what, that is your core mandate. You have a risk. Everything about this bank is about risk, and you have a department for the risk to look at every aspect of risk. And so therefore, you cannot run away from it. I was expecting loans and advances to go up, but it has declined, meaning that there were a lot of recoveries, which is good omen anyway. But you have alluded to the fact that there was also restriction from the regulator that you should not give out, but go and chase the people who are owing you. Of course, that is what you have to do anyway. But we shareholders will still complain because I was worried as the gentleman spoke. Because if your top line is decreasing, it means you are losing your market share. But explanation has been given that you were restricted from that. And even under that circumstances, you're able to post this particular result. It is on that note that I'm so much impressed about that. Going forward, we hope such restrictions will be removed for the bank to do the best it can. Thank you very much. And that's how I will end my submission. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dazi. Thank you very much. I believe we have some questions from the online platform.
Yes, Chairman. So we have a number of questions actually from Refuge Kujo Mensah. I believe a number of them have been addressed in the earlier comments, but he has some questions on the business and strategy and business model of the bank. And he says, what are CalBank's top 3 strategic priorities for the next 3 to 5 years? How does management plan to grow the bank's market share in the sector? What role does digital transformation play in CalBank's long-term growth strategy? And finally, what is the bank's approach to expanding agent banking and retail banking?
From
Refuge.
Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Refuge, thank you very much for your questions. I mean, you asked about the digitalization. Of course, I mean, we know that the 4th or 5th industrial revolution is all about IT, and this bank is deploying IT. And earlier on, somebody cautioned us about the need for to enhance our security measures and so on, to make sure that you know, the customer's confidence is still reposing us is still maintained, and we will be doing that. He talked about the strategies. Well, as you know, we have a 5-year strategic plan, and which we are following, but we would not like to you know, divulge all the strategies because there are other people listening in. Yeah, but we have that on mind. We have a strategic plan, and we are following it to the letter. Thank you. Carl, do you want to? Yeah, thank you. Any more?
Hello?
Do you have any more?
Hello.
Yes, somebody's here. Hold on. Anybody from the online first?
Yes, Mr. Mensah is seeking further refuge. but I think since we have
Further.
refuge, he has further questions.
Okay.
But since we have someone.
Okay. Yes, sir. You have the floor, sir.
All right. My name is Augustine Koko Ajaki. My question is that the bank is planning to raise an additional 900 million Ghana cedis to meet capital adequacy ratio requirement of 13%. While capital accumulation is necessary, how does the board plan to minimize the dilution effect on existing shareholders? Will there be a strategy to prioritize long-term shareholders in any potential equity offering? That's my first question. Now, the bank also has outlined aggressive recovery efforts to improve retained earnings and reduce capital erosion. However, Ghana's banking sector has seen rising non-performing loans, with the industry NLP ratio reaching 20.7% in 2023. What specific measures is CalBank implementing to significantly reduce NLPs, and how will this translate into improved profitability for shareholders? My final question. The board is seeking shareholder approval for executive and non-executive director compensation packages. Given the bank's financial challenges, including capital shortfalls and the impact of the domestic debt exchange program, can the board justify these compensation levels? Have executive pay structures been aligned with the bank's financial recovery and long-term shareholder value creation? Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your questions. Let me say that, yes, the executive pay, we are in a competitive market, and you must have a retention strategy for your existing employees as well as for new ones, else you will lose them. And if you lose the people, then you cannot adequately roll out your strategies and so on to achieve your results. So yes, it has been aligned with our budget and our strategy and so on. Now you talked about NLP. I believe you meant NPLs, right? Yes, I suspect that. Yeah. Yes. Historically, yes, we've had high NPLs, as I explained earlier, for a reason, for DDPL and write-offs and all that. So yes. Going forward, this has been muted and well contained, I can assure you. On the new shares and whether the dilution effects on the existing shareholders, yes, that has come up, and we believe that the existing shareholders have been with us in the trenches for quite a long time, and when these shares are floated, of course, I mean, we hope that it will be taken into account. And there are various ways of, enticing them to take up the additional shares. So that will be looked at. But you made a good point there. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, thank you for the opportunity. My name is J.C. Chi, a shareholder and executive member of Shareholders Association. I also would like to commend you for very good performance under the year during 2024. I however suggest that in order to intensify your efforts in mobilization personal or deposits, I think that there is the need to look at appointing more agents, as the other banks are doing, instead of maybe opening branches because of high costs involved. Because if you go through the town, you could see that many of these banks are now relying mostly on agents. So I think this is what our banks should adopt in order to increase our efforts to mobilize deposits. I also appreciate that the directors and the management has adopted open door policy. In other words, the management and staff are always accessible to public for any businesses. And I think I commend management for that. And they should continue. Because if you don't get information, the image of the company will come down. So I encourage management to continue that. On that note, I thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you for your contribution, Mr. Che. Yes, I do agree with you. You hit the nail right on the head in the sense that we cannot continue to be putting brick and mortar all over the place because it's so expensive to do that. And so, yes, it's all about accessibility. And once we can provide accessibility to our customers, whether in Bumpurugu or wherever, we can bank them. So the agents, as you said, that we should continue building on the agents. We mentioned that last year our agents numbered 800, and this year we are 2,200 and growing. So we are on the right track, and thank you for emphasizing that point. And we will continue to build on the agency and the digital platform. Thank you.
Yeah, Chair. So Precious in Teachroom wants to know what the percentage contribution to interest income was from Government of Ghana Treasury Bill. I beg your pardon. It says, what is the percentage of Government of Ghana Treasury Bill interest income contribution to total income in 2023 and 2024?
Do you have it offhand? Since it's going to 2023-24, this has to be provided by, after computing. So I'm not sure. Mr. MD, do you have these figures? I'm sure you didn't expect that. So.
No, but when you look into the financials, our investment securities that we currently have are all in the DDP bonds. We don't have anything in treasury bills. And mostly the DDP bonds has a coupon rate of roughly 9% averagely. So those are the yields that we get from those bonds as we speak. Those are what has make a restrictions for us not to be able to get a higher yield when the treasury bills was very high. That's because of those limitations. Yeah, thank you.
Do you have any more questions online? Okay, I think we have had all the questions online.
Mr.
And yes, please, somebody
here, yes.
calling my attention here. Where is he?
I'm here.
Yes, please, you have the floor.
Yes, Samuel Adiku.
Yes, Mr. Adiku.
A shareholder. I'm very concerned about the cost to income ratio, but somebody has spoken extensively about that. From the look of things, I think productivity has fallen from 4 in 2023 to 3. It means your workers are not doing well, and they always ask for more salary when productivity is falling. I realize that this annual report, this booklet, is almost becoming a photo album with pictures, which is overshadowing the most important items of the financial statement, which must give more information. Well, the statutory exposures, they are there, but we need more information in the statutory statistical distributions to make things clear. You can have graphs to make things very clear. People understand and remember graphs more than words and figures. So we must try to give us such statistical information. I think I have more to say, but I will reduce it to writing to the company later on. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Adiku. Yes, your points are well noted, and we'll consider that. But let me also say that, the graphs and the figures will have to go hand in hand, because somebody else will say that we are hiding the figures and using graphs. So you can't win all the time. So, but it's noted. We've taken note of it. Yes, please.
Well, one final one from online. It says, what is management's target for the bank's cost-to-income ratio in the next 2 years?
Yeah. The targets are in the strategy, right? So you want, okay. Go ahead.
Yes, management target is to bring us back to 49 to 50% in the next 2 years. And we are very sure that we'll be able to achieve that by the end of the second year. Thank you.
Yeah. So let me also add that cost control is, as I mentioned earlier, is being very much well contained. Even the board members had to take a 50% cut reduction in their fees and so on, just to ensure that we are within. So all measures are being taken place. Be rest assured. Yeah. 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 I now move that resolution 1, I'll take the first resolution, please. I now move that the accounts of the bank for the years ended 31st December 2023 and 31st December 2024, and the reports of the directors and auditor thereon be and are hereby deemed duly considered. Will the member please second this motion?
Mr. Chairman, the name is Samson Ashon. I do second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Ashon. I now put a motion to the meeting. Please start voting on resolution 1 now. That's on the accounts, the 2023 and 2024 accounts, resolution 1. Voting starts now. The vote is ended. Let's wait for the results. The Electoral Commission is delaying as usual. Yeah, we have the results of the votes. For the motion, we have 125 votes, and against the motion, we have 1 vote. Abstention, 2 votes. I hereby declare the motion duly carried. Thank you. The next item is the election of new directors. We come to the second item on the agenda, which is to elect new directors of the bank. The tenure of your current board comes to an end at the conclusion of this AGM. Accordingly, the board wishes to propose for your consideration 4 non-executive director nominees to be elected to constitute, together with our executive directors, the new board of your bank. They are Mr. Daniel Nikwe Kumasaki. Mr. Dansaki was formerly with EcoBank Ghana. And next is Mr. Kojo Brantuo Mpieni. Mr. Kojo Mpieni, I believe, is here. Yes, Mr. Kojo Mpieni. Yeah. Brantuo. Then there is Miss Yvonne Ofosu Apia. Yes, she's right here with us. Thank you. And Mr. Gerrit Muller from Arise, who is also here. The first 3 nominees were selected through a rigorous and independent third-party recruitment process, while the 4th nominee was proposed by Arise BV, our second largest shareholder. All 4 candidates are highly experienced persons in their various fields and have been duly vetted and approved by the Bank of Ghana as required by the law. The board is therefore pleased to recommend the nominees for your consideration and election. Now let me just add that there will be additional directors to be nominated by the shareholders and also by SNIT and so on, and that is ongoing, and that will also come. But for now, we will be taking the approval for the 4 that I have mentioned earlier. The first non-executive director nominee, Mr. Dansaki, his picture was projected shortly ago, and his profile is on page 6 of the shareholder pack. So, resolution 2 is that I hereby move that Mr. Daniel Nikwe Kumasaki, having been pre-approved by the Bank of Ghana for appointment as an independent non-executive director of the company, be and is hereby elected as a director of the company. Would the member please second this motion?
Honorable Chairman, today I've seen and I've observed a very peaceful atmosphere through the Holy Spirit. Yes. Yes. This is what I've noticed now. You see, since I came, I was just quiet, looking at your face. And I've seen something going on. We shall approve whatever you bring to the table. When you mentioned Nikwe Kumasaki, Nikwe Kumasaki is a very important name in the Ghana state. And therefore, as a Ghanaian, I will never turn my back to Nikwe Kuma. Although he's not here. But I want to tell him wherever he is, that I, Jonathan Kwefio, Mexico, have accepted his nomination on the board. God bless him, wherever he is.
Thank you, Honorable Mexico. We will not take any questions on this resolution submitted, please, either through the online or, in the room, please. Any questions on the nomination of Mr. Dan Saki? Daniel Nikwe Saki.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Samuel.
Mr. Adiku, yes.
Yes, I would like to know the size of the board recommended by the company's constitution.
Yes.
Of the company.
Mr. Chairman, I can address that. Yes. It's a minimum of 5 and a maximum of 13.
But it's not our intention to go up to 13. There's a cost implication in that as well. So, it will be, we have a range, yeah? Yes. Mr. Adiku, are you okay? Has your question be answered, please? Okay, thank you. Yeah, so do you have anything online? Okay, so I now put the motion to the meeting. Please start voting on Resolution 2 now. Voting ends now on Resolution 2. Wow, that was quick. The results are in from the Electoral Commissioner. For the motion, we had 140 votes, against 4 votes, abstention 2 votes. I hereby declare the motion duly carried. Thank you. The second non-executive director nominee is Mr. Kojo Brentuo Mpieni, whose picture currently appears on the screen and whose detailed profile appears on page 6 of the shareholders pack. I hereby move that Mr. Kojo Brentuo Mpieni, having been pre-approved by Bank of Ghana for appointment as an independent non-executive director of the company, B, and is hereby elected as a director of the company. Would a member please second this motion? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
My name is J.C. Che.
Yes, Mr.
I
Che.
hereby second the motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Che. We will now take questions on this resolution, if any. Anything online? Any questions online? I now put a motion. Oh, there's one here. Yes. Sorry about that. I almost jumped. Yeah.
Thank you. Please, I'm Desmond Salasi. I'm having network challenges right now. At the moment, my network shows no services. That means I'll not be able to vote. Can there be a provision whereby we could raise our hands to show those of us in the building and those of us having challenges with network? Thank you.
I see. Where are the IT people? Why is Mr. Salasi not having access? In that case, I think we should allow the show of hands. I mean, because you have a right to vote. Mr. Salasi, we would allow the show of hands, please. Yeah. I now put a motion to the meeting. Please start voting on Resolution 3. Voting ends on Resolution 3. We have the results on the screen. For the motion, 136 votes, against 4 votes, abstention 4 votes. I hereby declare the motion duly carried. Thank you. The third non-executive director nominee is Ms. Yvonne Oposu Appiah, whose picture currently appears on the screen and whose detailed profile appears on page 6 of the shareholders pack. I hereby move that Ms. Yvonne Oposu Appiah, having been pre-approved by the Bank of Ghana for appointment as an independent non-executive director of the company, B, and is hereby elected as a director of the company. Any seconder? Mr. Chairman. Issa. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Issa. The motion has been seconded by Mr. Issa. We will not take any questions on this resolution submitted, please, whether through the online or in the room.
Hello.
Yes, please.
My name is Caleb Daz. I want to know that Wi-Fi has not been provided for us to vote online. So
yes.
If there can be Wi-Fi and Wi-Fi code to be provided for us so that we can vote online. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Dazi, you are right. And another member brought our attention to this earlier on. So we are allowing voting by hand for those in the room, whilst those online could access it through the platform. So yes, you're right. So those in favor of Resolution 4 to nominate Ms. Yvonne Ofosu-Appiah, please show by hand again. The registrar to count, please. Voting online, I believe, is continuing. Okay. For the motion, 128 votes. Against, 4 votes. And abstentions, 3 votes. I hereby declare the motion duly carried. Thank you. The fourth non-executive nominee is Mr. Gerrit Muller, who is here with us in the front row. His picture also appears on the screen for those online. I hereby move that Mr. Gerrit Muller, having been pre-approved by the Bank of Ghana for appointment as a non-executive director of the company, be and is hereby elected as a director of the company. Would any member please second this motion?
My name is Manfred Nkansa. I second the motion.
Thank you, Mr.
Manfred Nkansa.
Thank you, Mr. Manfred Nkansa. Thank you for seconding. We will not take any questions on this resolution, either here or on the online, on the resolution 5 for Mr. Gerrit Muller, please.
Yes, Chairman, there's a comment and a question online from Emmanuel Ajake. He says, Mr. Muller has deep experience in private equity and financial sector investments across Africa. With CalBank's need to raise 900 million cedis in fresh capital, Ghana's banking sector remains highly vulnerable due to the effects of the DDEP program. Can the board provide assurances that his appointment will directly support CalBank's capital raising efforts? Will he be tasked with securing foreign investments? And if so, what commitments has he made to this objective?
That's a good one. Thank you for your question. I'm not aware that Mr. Muller has made any commitments, but of course, being a director of the company, he's duty-bound to support the company and to help open doors. So in that respect, I expect that he would do his best to support the efforts of the bank. Any more questions? I now put the motion to the meeting. Please start voting, those online. Those in the room will show by hand. Those in favor, please show by hand. Voting ends online on Resolution 5 now. Well, the votes for the motion, 129. Votes against 6. Abstention 2. I hereby declare the motion duly carried. Thank you. On December 23rd, 2024, the Bank of Ghana approved the appointment of Mr. Johnson Owari as an executive director of the bank pursuant to Section 65 of Act 930. Mr. Owari, having consented to serve as an executive director of the bank, was duly appointed as the deputy managing director of the bank, effective 20th January 2025, for a 4-year term. Article 74B of the amended constitution of the bank provides that a person so appointed to the board shall serve until the following annual general meeting and shall be eligible for re-election. The board will recommend that Mr. Owari be so re-elected and will propose the following resolution. As to Resolution 6, I move that Mr. Johnson Owari, having been duly appointed as an executive director of the company, be re-elected as a director of the company in accordance with Article 74B of the amended constitution of the company. Would a member please second this motion?
Mr. Chairman, my name is Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Akwa. Seconded by Mr. Akwa. We will not take any questions on this resolution submitted through the online platform. Yes, Mr. Dazi.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Executive director means you are a director, at the same time you are a worker of the bank.
Correct.
What I know is that even the CEO or the managing director at various meetings comes there as an ex-officio member. It's not to be voted for every 4 years for his post to be maintained. This gentleman is also an executive member supporting the managing director. I'm wondering whether we are supposed even to comment on this one at all. I think that it is the board responsibility to fix whatever is necessary to be done for this man to continue at the office. That's what I just want a bit of clarification from you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Dazi. I will ask the company secretary to expatiate on this, please.
Yes, Chairman, the constitution of the bank requires that whenever a director, be they an executive or non-executive director, is appointed by the board, they serve until the next annual general meeting where they are required to be presented to the shareholders for re-election. Because even though they're an executive director, they're still a director of the bank, and it is the shareholders' duty to appoint or to retain them.
So, Mr. Dazi, it's by the bank's constitution, and I hear. Yes, thank you. Any more questions? If there's none, then I now put the motion to the meeting. Please start voting on Resolution 6 now, and those in the room. Voting now ends on Resolution 6. And for the motion, 135 votes, 4 against, and 4 abstentions. I hereby declare the motion duly carried. Thank you. We go on to the next item on the agenda, which is the approval of executive and non-executive directors' remuneration. In accordance with Section 185 of the Companies Act, 2019 Act 992, the board will request your approval of the remuneration of the executive and non-executive directors as respectively disclosed in Notes 37C of the 2024 annual report of the bank. With respect to the remuneration of non-executive directors, in the light of the challenges then confronting the bank, the board fees were reduced by up to 50% in August 2024 on the regulatory guidance from Bank of Ghana. The board will seek shareholders' approval of the said fees and to maintain the reduced fees for 2025, since we are not out of the woods yet. Regarding the remuneration of the executive directors, the board approved the appointments of the Managing Director, Mr. Carl Selassie Assem, and the Deputy Managing Director, Mr. Johnson Delali Owari, on May 1st, 2024 and January 20th, 2025, respectively, and will seek shareholders' approval for their contracts and remuneration. These resolutions shall be taken separately. The first resolution shall be in respect of the non-executive director's remuneration. So I come to Resolution 7. I move that in accordance with Section 185 of the Companies Act 2019, Act 992, approval be and is hereby given for the remuneration of the non-executive directors of the bank as detailed in Note 37C to the financial statement for the year ended December 31st, 2024, and for the payment of non-executive directors' fees for 2025 at the reduced rates mandated by the Bank of Ghana in August 2024. Will the member please second this motion? Am
I allowed to ask a question before
yes,
the
Frank.
motion seconded? First and foremost, may we know the rates that the Bank of Ghana approved?
Yes.
And the currency in which it was approved?
The currency, let me say that during 2024, we converted the fees of the directors to cedis. At the rate of 12 cedis or so to the dollar. So the currency is cedis, and going forward is going to be cedis.
Many thanks.
Because we earn cedis and we operate in cedis, and we believe that it should be in cedis.
I second the motion.
Well, we have a second already for the motion. Thank you, Mr. Edu. Okay, I now put the motion to the meeting. Please start voting, those online now, and in the room, we would show by hand, please. Thank you. Voting has now ended on resolution 7. We have the results. For the motion, 114, against 10, and abstention 4. I hereby declare the motion duly carried. Thank you. The second resolution shall be in respect of the remuneration of the Managing Director, Mr. Carlson. So that will be resolution 8. I move that in accordance with section 185 of the Companies Act 2019, approval be and is hereby given for the contract and remuneration of the Managing Director, Mr. Carl Selassie Asem, on the terms of his appointment as detailed in Note 37C to the financial statements. Would a member second this motion, please?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
My name is John Kinsler. I second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Esel. Thank you. We will not take any questions on this resolution.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Charles Mensah Onoma. I know we all have one vote, but as it is, assuming I'm voting online and again raising my hand, it means I'm voting twice, because you don't ask for the names of those raising their hands to check. So in future, we have to take that into consideration, because I know we all have one vote. And with this system, one can vote twice.
Thank you. We will take note of that. Any more questions, please? I now put the motion to the meeting. Please start voting on resolution 8 now. We will start with voting ends on resolution 8. The results are 123 in favor, 7 against, and 4 abstentions. I hereby declare the motion duly carried. Thank you. The third resolution shall be in respect of the remuneration of the Deputy Managing Director, Mr. Johnson Owari. That's resolution 9. I move that in accordance with Section 185 of the Companies Act 2019, approval be and is hereby given for the contract and remuneration of the Deputy Managing Director, Mr. Johnson Owari, on the terms of his appointment. Will the member please second this motion? Thank you, Mr. Akwa. Seconded by Mr. Akwa, Charles Akwa. We will not take any questions on this resolution, please. Both from the room and then from out online. We don't have anything online. Okay, I now put a motion to the meeting. Please start voting on resolution 9 now. Those online. Those in the room. Voting has ended online on resolution 9. And the votes count are votes in favor 120, against 7, and abstention 2. I declared the motion duly carried. Thank you. We now come to the remuneration of the auditor, which is of great interest to Abina. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the remuneration of the auditor. Section 141 of the Companies Act requires that the auditor's remuneration shall be fixed by the company in general meeting or in such manner as the company in general meeting may determine. The remuneration payable to the auditor shall also be subject to the confirmation of members of the company. This is a two-part resolution. The first part seeks confirmation of the remuneration payable to the auditor as detailed in Note 16 of the 2024 annual report. And the second part is the authorization of the directors to fix the fee of the auditor for the year ending 31st December 2025. So that is what is captured in Resolution 10. And I move that in accordance with Section 142 of the Companies Act 2019, confirmation be and is hereby given for the remuneration of the external auditor of the bank, as detailed in Note 16 to the financial statements for the year ended December 31st, 2024. I further move that the directors be and are hereby authorized to fix the remuneration of the external auditor in respect of the year ending December 31st, 2025. So we approve the 2024, and then we mandate them to fix for 2025. Will the member please second this motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I'm Prince DeGrant Brempong, a shareholder. I second the motion.
Thank you, Prince. Thank you
Please,
very much.
I want to ask that how much is the auditor's fees, the remuneration?
Yes. For 2024, it should be in the financials, right? Yes, it should be there. 2025, as I said, is yet to be fixed. Yeah. Okay. Any more questions on this resolution? I now put the motion to the meeting.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
What is that? Okay. Mr.
I
Adiku. Yeah.
I don't know what goes into the remuneration of the auditors. I think they have been in office for some time. They are conversant with the internal controls. You have an internal audit too. So their work normally actually becomes easier since they know the controls already. So always increasing their remuneration, I think you have to look at that. When you are bargaining with them, take things into consideration. Already this time we have a computer and everything doing their work for them. So they should be very careful about it.
Mr. Adiku, thank you very much. Let me correct that they have not been in action for a long, in service for a long time. I think this is about the second year, because by regulation we have to change the auditors, rotate them after a few years. So they have been after 6 years. So they have been in for only 2 years. And secondly, about negotiation, yes, we shall bear in mind and negotiate with them when the 2025 comes up. So thank you for your suggestion. And Abner, you heard that. Thank you.
Chairman, there's a question online.
Online, yes.
Yes, from Precious in Tichum, who asks, does the auditor receive any other funds in addition to the remuneration?
Not that I'm aware of, but...
No, doesn't receive any other funds apart from what is.
Any more questions? Yes, Mr. Dazi.
I will also want to find out whether they also undertake non-audit assignments.
Yes, please, as and when is needed.
Yeah, but we ensure that there's no conflict on it. Yeah. Any more questions? Please feel free. I now put a motion to the meeting. Please start voting on resolution 10 now, those online, and those in the room, those for the motion, please show by hand. Registrar, please don't let them keep their hands on for too long, they'll get tight. Voting has ended on resolution 10. Thank you very much. And the results are, for the motion, 126 votes, against 6 votes, and abstentions 2 votes. I hereby declare the motion duly carried. Thank you. Now the next item is the approval of increase in stated capital. Following the bank's participation in the Government of Ghana's Domestic Debt Exchange Program, that's the DDEP, in February 2023, and the Eurobond Restructuring Program in 2024, coupled with the impairment of a large single exposure in 2023, the bank's regulatory capital position has fallen below the required minimum, resulting in a capital gap of 900 million cedis. Consequently, CalBank will need to raise additional fresh capital of 400 million and 500 million through balance sheet optimization. The board recognizes the capital accumulation can be achieved through various means, including the restructuring of loans and earning assets, balance sheet optimization, sustained aggressive recovery, cost containment, debt restructuring, and new equity. The directors are also mindful of the need to minimize the dilutive effect on the existing shareholders in the application of these measures. The board is committed to regularly update shareholders on the progress of these initiatives. Accordingly, the board proposes the following resolution to enable your bank to meet its regulatory capital target. And that's in resolution 11. I move that the approval be and is hereby given for the directors to take the necessary steps to meet the minimum capital adequacy requirement of 13% as mandated by the Bank of Ghana through raising additional regulatory capital of up to 900 million within the next 9 months. To achieve this target, the board is authorized to explore and implement a combination of options. That's restructuring loan and earning assets. That's restructuring the bank's loan portfolio and earning assets to optimize returns and reduce risk-weighted assets. Balance sheet optimization. That's implementing strategies to optimize the balance sheet, including selling non-core assets and improving asset liability management. These are, actions that management is mandated to undertake. Sustaining aggressive recovery efforts, that's continuing aggressive recovery of the non-performing loans and written off loan portfolios to improve retained earnings and reduce capital erosion. And profitability, implementing measures to improve profitability and support capital accumulation. Cost-containing strategies, that's implementing rigorous cost containment measures to reduce costs and support capital accumulation. Debt restructuring, implementing measures to reduce external debt holdings, including converting portions of external debt to equity. And raising new capital, that's initiating new capital injections through equity, debt, or hybrid instruments as deemed appropriate by the board. Now, before I proceed to call for the seconding of this motion, let me reiterate and re-emphasize for the record that neither this resolution nor the various measures proposed under this resolution for the raising of up to 900 million in additional capital for the bank will involve a sale and lease back of the bank's head office building. The head office building is not for sale. So we do not intend to sell the family server, to put it bluntly. Additionally, in the process of raising additional capital equity, shareholders will have the right to participate as and when the offer is available. the board is committed to ensuring that the bank gets the best possible value in all these transactions in the interest of all stakeholders of the bank. So, will the member please move for the secondment of the... You want to add it?
Yeah.
Yes, I will ask the CEO to I'll provide for further meat to this, if you don't mind. Yeah.
Yes, I just wanted to state that, as the chairman rightly said, the shareholders will be given the first right of refusal in raising this capital that is badly needed to keep the bank going. It is also wanted to put it on record that the discount of any offer will not exceed 10% of the market price at any point in time in raising the capital. I also wanted to clarify that the non-core assets that was put in that resolution were strictly 3 bare lands, one in Kitasi, one in Airport Residential Area, and one in Rich. Those 3 assets were sold as part of the recovery efforts last year, and those were part of the financials in 2024. I also wanted to indicate that the debt to equity conversion, that discussion that is part of the resolution, is we talking to a Development Finance Corporation of the US, who gave us an amount lent for us to be able to borrow. Based on the current challenges of the bank, we have spoken to them to convert part of those debt to cushion the equity holders as well, because the sustainability of this bank will also affect them if we have challenges, and they are considering that effort. So when we get their final approval, that will be part of their debt conversion to be able to meet that 900 capital. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, please.
Based on all the analysis, my name is Santon Ashon. I do second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Ashon. We will now take any questions on this resolution submitted, please. If anybody has any questions, or seeks any clarifications, please feel free to ask.
I want to ask, the raising of additional regulatory capital is within 9 months. I want to know when is it starting and when is it ending? Within that 9 months.
First of all, we need your approval. Once the approval is given, then the clock starts, and we get the necessary approvals and so on.
So to the MD, I just wanted you to retake the last bit about the capital raise and the debt
conversion.
Conversion, yeah.
Okay. The conversion of the DFC partial loan into equity, that's what he's asking about.
DFC, when Carl Merchant Bank was actually instituted, they were one of the founding equity shareholders. So in the middle of our crisis, we actually approached them to consider the debt that they have in the books to also convert a certain portion. We are currently talking to them to convert 50% of that debt. As of today, they have roughly around $65 million dollars that we are paying them, that you have to pay over a certain period. We are asking them to convert 50% of it into the equity to support the equity shareholders in maximizing the 900 million. So that is one of the options that we have.
So we are asking everyone to, bear the part of the pain. Yeah. And let me say that they are looking at it positively. But of course, we will need shareholders' consent, to proceed with that. But they are looking at it positively.
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
I'm here, please. And my name is Ernest Japon. Positively, we are looking at it. But if it doesn't go that way, what next?
Well, do you want indications are that, they are, with these multinationals, there are various steps to seeking approval, various stages. And we have been tracking it, and we know that they are at the final stage of the approval. But you are right. If it doesn't, you are asking about a plan B, just in case, right? Yeah. Would you like to say?
No, I just wanted to say that we believe that the existing shareholders will fully take up quite a number of that amount. So the DFC is actually a plan B, but we believe strongly that as we are talking to the existing shareholders, the turn of events of the bank, the last 6 months or 7 months, has indicated both on the market itself and the confidence that the shareholders we are speaking to will take up. And we strongly believe that everybody have seen the capital gains on their share price the last 3 to 4 months. And most of the shareholders will take it. And also, when we need that support from DFC, we believe that they will also come in to support us to ensure that the 900 is met.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. I also believe that given the 2024 special, wonderful performance of the company, by all means we shall have the. Many people, the public will show interest in it. So we're 100% sure because of the last year's splendid performance. Thank you.
Thank you. Somebody online, yes?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, there are a couple of questions. The first says, are there any constraints with the revaluation of our head office? If not, how will that affect capital and why has it not been done yet?
The only constraints are that I think the revaluation is supposed to be every 3 years, right? If I remember correctly, yeah. And so you cannot do it, in between. And that's the only constraint. Mr. MD, if I have missed something, please.
Chairman, I think you are perfectly right. And that is also one of the options when the 3 years is due to also consider.
Because the value of this has appreciated so much from the people. And thanks to you, Frank. we have value in this building. Yeah.
So, Chairman, 2 other questions. The first says, how are you going to allow shareholders to participate? Will it be public? And the other question is, will DFC's debt conversion go to add to the issued shares?
Yes, it will be public. I mean, you have to contact the shareholders, if I got the question correct. And DSC's conversion. Of course, we are asking for additional shares to be authorized. So definitely some of that will go there.
And then there's a follow-on question on the revaluation of the head office, which says, when will the 3 years be due?
Is it next year?
No.
Or this year?
This year.
This year, 25, yes, sorry. It will be due this year, right?
Yes, I guess this year.
August. And as I indicated earlier, there will be a lot of value there, and we are lucky. We have experienced high inflation over the few years, and we all know from basic economics that in terms of high inflation, hedging is through fixed assets and so on, and we have it. So, when it's valued, I mean, it will yield a lot to the bottom line.
No further questions.
No? Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Yes, Mr. Diku.
The bird in the hand theory. People actually believe a company when it is making profit and it is paying dividend, not capital gain. And how sure are you that this time people will take up the preemption rights that you are going to issue again? Even the first one, you had only 1/3 of what is required. So when people are saying they are 100%, people are going to take you. I'm not very convinced about this.
Yeah, Mr. Diku, yes, you have a point there, but let me also state that in the first time, the bank was facing several challenges, and performance was not the best. Now we've seen even those who took up the rights issue at, was it 20-something?
29 pesos.
29 pesos. Right now, it's around 80 plus. So there's value in there, and since it's trading, they could cash in now. So we are positive that people, other people will take up the shares. The shareholders will take it up.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Charles Boatin, a shareholder.
Yes, Mr. Boatin.
I want to draw into perspective what we have on the table and encourage all of us as shareholders to, as and when the opportunity comes, take up our rights, given the fact that over the last 5 years, the current profit, PAT, far exceeds what we have seen over the last 5 years. And there are good indications that these profits will pick up by 2025, and they will expect a jump. So that is good news. It's like having a good business which is facing challenges. And all indications point to the fact that it's a profitable business. Just as we do with stock markets. I mean, you take advantage when the challenges are there, but yet you can see opportunities afar. And so as shareholders, let us encourage ourselves and join the bank in doing so. Let me also say on the sidelines that for a very long time, we've not seen Mr. Frank Edu Jr. We are happy to see him here today.
Yes.
One of our major single shareholder. Welcome, sir.
Welcome, Frank. Thank you very much. Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. This is a very, very turning and dicey issue. And as one says, all hands on deck. I'm very happy the board has come up with various options in raising this particular amount. 900 million is no joke. And therefore, there should be several options if and when, then you'll be able to. Based upon your performance, I'm also very much impressed. And I'm very, very sure that a lot of companies, institutional investors, so to speak, would like to join CalBank. Shareholders generally don't look up for immediate returns. It's the company potential. And that is where they buy into even when you are having challenges. As far as I'm concerned, I think that this proposition is a very good one, positive one, for which shareholders will have to subscribe to if the time comes. Thank you very much.
Thank you. On that note, will a member please second this motion?
Seconded already.
I beg your pardon, we've seconded. So, in the absence of any further questions, I will put the motion to the meeting. Please start voting on Resolution 11 now. The results are for the motion 129 votes, against 3, and abstention 0. I hereby declare the motion duly carried. Thank you. Now, approval of the conversion of preference shares into ordinary shares. That's the next item. At the 2023 annual general meeting, shareholders approved the raising of 600 million in additional capital. Shareholders also approved the authorization of 500 million preference shares of the company. The company, through a renounceable rights offer last year, issued 47,765,376 preference shares. The board is proposing the conversion of the unissued authorized preference shares and the issued preference shares of the company to ordinary shares in accordance with the terms of the renounceable rights offer. The conversion will be taken as a two-part special resolution. The first part of the resolution is the conversion of the authorized preference shares to ordinary shares, and the second part will be the conversion of the issued preference shares to ordinary shares. So, two parts. So the resolution 12 is, I hereby move as a special resolution that pursuant to Section 59 of the Companies Act 2019, Act 992, approval be and is hereby given for the conversion of the unissued portion of the 500 million authorized preference shares of the company to ordinary shares of no par value. And I further move that pursuant to Section 59 of the Companies Act 2019, Act 992, and pursuant to the terms of the renounceable rights offer of 2024, approval be and is hereby given for the conversion of the 47,765,376 issued preference shares of the company to ordinary shares of no par value. So, will the member second this motion, please?
Mr. Chairman,
yes.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, sir.
I hereby second the motion.
Thank you. Yes, this was stated in the renounceable rights issue, so I'm not surprised that you are quickly in agreement with it, and it was according to the plan that was put to shareholders at that time. We will now take any questions on this resolution, please.
My name is Samuel Dazi. I'm a shareholder of this company. Let me simply say that this is a very prudent decision. The situation is said that preference shares, like a debt, need not come our way at all. Therefore, debt conversion into equity as being tabled before us today is a prudent decision, so to speak. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Dazi. Any more questions on this, please? I understand there's one online. Please go ahead.
The question to the chairman. The board is proposing to convert the issued and unissued preference shares into ordinary shares. Yes. While this move may improve liquidity, it also has implications for existing shareholders, particularly in terms of dilution and dividend policies. Can the board clarify how this conversion will impact voting rights, dividend distribution, and long-term shareholder value? Additionally, what safeguards are in place to ensure that this does not disproportionately disadvantage minority shareholders? Mr. Chair, just to add on to that, another question also came in asking, please, the conversion to ordinary shares is at what rate? Thank you.
Yeah, the dividend rights will remain the same since they are all ordinary shares. Once they go into ordinary shares, the dividends rights are protected in the sense that each shareholder or each share will be allocated a dividend, and it depends on the number of shares. The conversion. Yeah.
The conversion is 1:1, and we just wanted to remind shareholders that the preference shares came about during the shareholders who took up the right issue, where that split took place. So we are just converting it back, and those were things that was in the prospectus approved by the shareholders during the raising of that capital. So thank you very much.
I'll put a motion to the meeting. Please start voting now. And for those in the room, those in favor. Yeah, voting has now ended on resolution 12. The results are in favor 113, against 5 votes, abstention 1. So it's carried with a percentage of 94.96%. Thank you very much. I hereby declare the motion duly carried. Now, last but not the least, we come to the next item. The final item on the agenda, which is to approve by special resolution an increase in the authorized shares of the bank. This resolution is proposed to ensure that the company has sufficient unissued shares available to support future share issues. So in resolution 13, I therefore move as a special resolution that approval be and is hereby given for an increase in the authorized share capital of the company from 3 billion ordinary shares of no par value to 6 billion ordinary shares of no par value, and accordingly that Article 7 of the Constitution of the bank be amended to read as follows. The company is registered with 6 billion ordinary shares of no par value. Will the member please second this motion? Didn't get your name clearly, please. Oh, Mr. Tay, thank you very much. We will now take any questions on this increase in the authorized shares, please.
My final comments.
Yes, Mr. Dazi.
A lot of people, when they hear 6 billion, they think it is cash or something of that nature. I would have even thought that the amount would be raised to 10 billion, so that you don't come to us from time to time to raise it. You have only doubled the amount from 3 billion to 6 billion. If it has been 10 billion, then it will take a longer time to come to shareholders for review of that particular thing. I don't know whether it is the stamp duty that is making you to maintain it at 3 billion. So that's my comment on it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Dazi, you're right. To be honest, we thought about that 10 billion figure, but consultations, with some other shareholders raised some objections, so we decided to go gradual. That's why. So yes, you're right. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Charles Opon, shareholder, and I want to know the time frame, time duration, how to go about, so that it will not be short. So people say, oh, we should have money, but the time frame that I wanted to know.
The time frame, once it's approved, then we'll go through the registration process to register it. That's it. Unless I didn't get a question clearly. Did I get a question? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yes. There are some questions online. Oh, yes, sir. Yes. One here first.
Mr. Chairman, in absence of any further discussion, yes, I move for the closure of the meeting.
We will come to that, sir. But, we'll come to that. Yeah. Please go ahead.
Yes. Mr. Chairman, the question is, the proposed increase in authorized share capital significantly expands the bank's capacity to issue new shares. Given that CalBank already faces a 900 million CD capital shortfall, can the board confirm whether this increase is a precursor to an imminent rights issue or private placement? If so, what measures will be put in place to ensure existing shareholders have a fair opportunity to participate and that the equity is not excessively diluted in favor of institutional investors?
I believe this question was taken up in the presentations,
Yeah.
And even whether there's going to be a discount and the amount that we've answered that. So go on.
Then another question on Resolution 13. What will be the GSE listing cost implications?
We have to pay. Listing costs. Yeah, he wants to know.
I think we don't have the figure but you don't think it is anything much to talk about? Because it is important that we have these shares, especially the fact that the bank needs capital. You are selling shares to get that capital. If you don't have any shares in stock, then really you have nothing to sell. So, okay. Thank you.
Any more? Online.
There's a question about, can you explain what no par value means to the House? Essentially means the shares are not issued with a fixed value. And so this gives the board the leverage, or the company the leverage, to issue shares at different values as and when they need to.
Any more? That's it. Okay. I now put a motion to the meeting. Please start voting on Resolution 13 now. Okay, voting has ended on resolution 13. Let's wait for the results, please. The votes for 122, votes against 7, abstention 0. That's a 94.5% approval. Thank you. I hereby declare the motion duly carried. Thank you. Yes, Mexico.
Honorable Chairman, I know time is not on our side. We are tired. And very soon I think we'll be leaving here. When are we meeting again? This year. Because of something that you said, I want to.
Honorable Mexico, I will not be able to answer your question because today is my last day here, so I wouldn't know.
Okay. Yeah. Then I'll come to my recommendations. Okay. Today I want to commend you for having worked so hard together with, I think, Dua, who's here, Frank. And today, I work with Carl.
Yes.
Those of us who have seen the value of what you have done for us, we will never see you going free. We will only pray that God should give you another chance wherever you may be. But I want to suggest that when you are going to do the final transition, please, the old should come and hand over to the new. We witnessed this yesterday at a certain company's AGM. So lovely and very nice. And then on that day, try to give us a sumptuous meal. I'm serious. You have to organize something special, especially when you are going, and then to welcome the new person who is coming. So this is my challenge I'm giving to you, outgoing chairman. Another thing which I have witnessed today, to say Uncle Frank, because Uncle Frank left some years ago, but myself and him, I always see him on this picture. Frank, I always see him on this picture. Yes. The day that this house is being commissioned, he called me Mexico. I will soon be leaving. So I want to take a photo with you because of the colors that you have put on. And you can see the colors of CalBank. So on that day, that is what happened. Once more, I want to thank you very much for the way you have conducted the program anytime we meet you. Your patience, humility, and respect is honored. Thank you very much, and may God bless all of you.
Thank you, Honorable Mexico. And as for the sumptuous meal, it will be provided in future, provided you are prepared to pay for it. True, because it will reduce your dividends.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Please, I have a concern. It's about, one, we talked about Wi-Fi in this room so that members here could access Wi-Fi to, follow the proceedings of the meeting. At least the voting aspect would have been very easy. Then also, I have realized that all these books that you have printed is a cost to us. And if we have a projector here that you can project some of these things on it for us to read, because you have already put it on our website for us to read. Those who are online are getting all this information without this book. So I'm proposing that going forward, we look at it as well and then reduce costs. Thank you very much.
Thank you. What's the name again?
Ernest Ejapon.
Mr. Ejapon, you are 100% right. I mean, these days, most banks and so on, because we are online, we put it online and avoid the cost of printing and reprinting. It's very expensive. In my former bank, we stopped, issuing these booklets and everything was online. So if your suggestion is in order, and I fully agree with you, but provided we ensure that shareholders will get the results ahead of time, through their emails or something, then a soft copy could be sent to them without necessarily paying the printing houses and so on.
Mr. Chairman, thank
Yes,
you
sir.
for the opportunity again. Even though it's a very good suggestion, I mean, how many of us have, has accessibility, has access to this kind of modern technology? Many of us, thousands. You see, secondly, is it by abandoning the issue of this book? Is it consistent with the constitution of the CalBank? Will the regulators accept this? These are things that you have to take into consideration. But completely abandon them, I don't think it will be in the interest of some of the.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. We've noted that, but just like you said that we should not be putting brick and mortar everywhere, and that it's all about accessibility. That's why I'm stressing that the important point is to ensure that shareholders have access to all the information necessary before they come in here. So we have to look at it and see how best we can provide shareholders with information as well as saving costs. Yes, Mr. Ernest, you want to?
Yes, sir. Please, I think if you look at our secretary for the Shareholders Association, Mr. Ashon, he was well and fully prepared coming here, even asking a lot of questions, meaning that he has already had information about this meeting at the website. You see, and so I was saying that if we have a projector here, those that we entered just now, we cannot read everything that you have given to us. We're just glancing through. So with the projector here, all the things will be coming on, and then we'll be following it. That's just my suggestion.
Thank you. We will examine the suggestion and see how best we can work with it, sir.
Mr. Chairman, just to add to this, if I'm not out of the rules, I think per GSE and other rules, you are supposed to do a minimum of a maximum of 500 just for indoor services. And that cannot be ruled out completely. So basically, so that you don't overprint, I think that the threshold is about 500, if I'm not mistaken. Otherwise, then just for in-house services.
GSE, GSE, they are here. I don't know if they are asking us to do 500, whether they will pay for it. Can you?
I thought that was a convention at a point when we were clamoring for reduction in the cost of printing. The idea was
I understand that
with respect to
no longer holds anyway.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yes, Mr. Dazi. Yeah, you may speak.
I think that copies will have to be made available. 164-page document, you say I should go to the net and be using my glasses to go about it. It will be very difficult. So few copies should be made available even before the AGM. If they don't want to print at all, then they should only print one for me.
No. Yes, Mr. Dazi, we've heard you. We can make few copies available, but it doesn't have to be in color or anything like that. I mean, and there are ways of saving costs, so management will have to look at it. Yes, we have a question over there.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I'm Desmond Salasing. Please, with respect to the reappointment and remuneration of non-executive directors, with those who have been appointed the previous years, you are the people who work with them and you know how best they performed. So if we come here and then a resolution is brought forth and we are supposed to vote for it, we don't know how best they performed. I don't know if there could be a provision where there could be either a recommendation from the board or maybe something that would suggest whether they need to be reappointed or not. Thank you.
Yes, this was in the form of a recommendation from the board anyway.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Yeah, I still want to.
Yes, Mr. Adiku.
Yes, to second Mr. Dazi, print another one for me. The copy, hard copy. 2, 1 for me.
Okay.
And it should be timely.
Yes.
Give me time to read through.
Yes.
It's flexible.
To prepare.
So
Yes.
prepare for this.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Mr. Sean.
Are we finished with the main thing?
No, I was going to. I was just going to close it.
Okay. Before closing, since you have new directors,
yes,
we would like them to come in front so we can see them and know them very well. But they are now coming to take the place up.
I introduced them, but if you insist, I would.
We should, in fact, so we should know them.
Okay.
And they should come down. And then
Come where? In front. Okay. Garrett, would you lead your team, please?
Come. We'll look into their faces.
Okay. Yes. Yes. So we have 3 non-executives and 1 executive director here. Thank you very much. You may take your seats. Mexico, there could be more coming on the way, you know. So yeah, it's not exhaustive. Yeah, thank you. So, as they say, we say in Ghana, at long last. This annual general meeting, before I close the meeting, I would like to thank you all on behalf of the board for joining in person and online and actively participating to ensure a successful annual general meeting. This has undoubtedly been a very challenging year for the bank on several fronts, but I am confident that with your continued support, CalBank, your bank, will emerge stronger. May I, at this point, call in a member to give us a closing prayer? We started with a prayer and we want to end with a prayer. Please come in front here and give us a prayer. Oh, okay. Who is praying for us?
Oh, all right.
Yes.
Am I permitted to stand here? Please may we bow our head in prayer. Father, once again we are grateful. We thank you for the new leaders you have given us. We thank you for the wisdom you imparted in them. Father, even as we leave, we are not leaving your presence. We ask that, Lord, your presence will go with us. But above all, we ask for your blessing upon CalBank, the executive, non-executive, the management. We ask that, Lord, a year by this time, they will expand. Together, we thank you for doing good work on behalf of CalBank. Father, we thank you for the leadership. We give you all the glory. In Jesus' name, may the saints say amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen. Thank you very much. I now declare the meeting formally closed. Thank you. It's over.
That was
Mr. Mensah, yes. Who is this young lady? Do you know?
Thank you for supporting us. I know. You are very faithful supporter.
Board of Directors, CEOs, and industry. Yes, all of industry should get this. In today's ever-growing marketplace, expansion and progress must certainly be on your mind. It is on ours too, because we look forward to grow with you. We are able to get as much financing as your corporate projects need and to see to their successful completion in the best possible timing. How?
It's a new day.
Well, we are responsible. We do business the right way, with regard for sound financial, social, and ethical practices. We are effective, knowledgeable, and even more so with each new experience wielding expertise built from decades of facilitating the financing of the grandest of projects with exceptional dedication. We are decisive, not just because we take good decisions, but because we make sound decisions based on risk, local market knowledge, opportunity, and timing. In fact, there are several projects we have facilitated in the energy, real estate, education, power, and manufacturing sectors, to be modest. Surely your project is next. Contact us today so that we can move forward together. It is possible. Best regards, CalBank.
forward together.